Oh man, I got to tell you, man, I'm one of the few people. I don't know about you guys. I'm one of the few people that I really, really, really love what I do. I get a chance to see uh, how I am able to help people uh, every single day, day in and day out. I get to work with amazing people, and more importantly, I get to meet amazing people like all of you. How you doing? I'm James Laster, Master Financial Planner, CEO of Laster Financial Consultants. And we meet here every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern to have holistic financial conversations. We infuse it with current events, and we also infuse it with solutions. And one of the solutions that we have been found that we have found that has been helping a lot of people has been our Flow to Grow program. It's amazing how all of this has taken off. The program has been active for numerous years, but as a form to educate clients that are coming in, educate the families that are trying to understand the plans that their parents have, or maybe they want their kids to have. With my education background and training from all the folks that I get to work with day in and day out, we entitled this program Flow to Grow because the more you flow, the more you grow. Right. So what we want to do tonight is we want to be really intentional about our conversation that we're having with you all. Okay. And that conversation is about what's going on right now in today's world. Okay. We have three huge whammies that are compounding each other, and it's turning into this one big massive snowball of angst and worry, and people are just trying to brace themselves and figure some things out. And quite honestly, many people don't know what to do. So we're going to talk about that, but let's talk about those three whammies real quick. Okay. So unless you've been living up under a rock or have been sneaking outside and going to places without a mask on, right? We're still in the midst of a global pandemic. And this pandemic in 2020, just a little over 2 years ago, shut down the country. Okay. And everything that we're going to talk about is really going to layer itself to the conversation, the overarching conversation that we need to have, right? COVID-19 stepped in, shut down the country, and many people just were unable to work. They were unable to go to work. They were unable to make a living for themselves. And God forbid any one of those families that contracted that deadly disease are no longer here with us. Okay. And as the country shut down, America, who's known for its productivity, was unable to do the one thing that they're really good at, is be productive. So with vastly over 60% of our country not being productive, leads us to our second big whammy that's going on right now. Okay. Inflation. It was already pinching up. And if you don't know what inflation is your buying power. So as your buying power was decreasing, and it started decreasing even more rapidly when the new administration took office, not playing politics, that's exactly what happened. It was going to happen regardless, right? And many people prior to the new administration taking office, and before the previous administration before that, everyone was really concerned about, is the market going to reset? You probably could have those same questions right now. And as folks were trying to figure out, okay, hey, is the market going to reset? What does this look like? How, how we're going to handle everything? Remember, people didn't go to work because of COVID. Just level with me here. So that means that meant that things weren't getting produced, right? So then there's this housing market ordeal, okay? Big housing market ordeal, and everybody went to go move and say, hey, you know what? Kids are not in school. We're not going to work. We're working virtually right now. So because we're working virtually, hey, I want a new house. I want a bigger house. I don't want to live in the city anymore. There's no need for me to live in the city anymore. I want to stay out here. I want to have my own piece of American pie. I want my own house. I want my own yard. I want to live comfortably. I want to see the kids run out and play. I want to spend more time with my family. Then people went out to go buy houses and even to go get new build homes. New build homes. People couldn't sell their houses. People couldn't build houses. People couldn't purchase new build houses because, well, the country didn't go to work. So things like windows, doors, carpet, fixtures, appliances, they were unavailable. Now, as that happened, we're starting to see, the backlash of what happened after you shut down a powerhouse country like America, right? So, what brings us to the second big ordeal that we have going on inside of America right now, which is inflation. To top it all off, Russia decides that it's going to invade Ukraine. And a country that is heavily dependent on oil and gas, well, they're dependent on oil and gas. So to make matters even worse, that conflict is affecting us and pushing inflation even further off the cliff. Meaning that the cost of gas, right now is edging. It's edging it's edging $7. Now, if there's anybody who is seeing high gas prices, definitely put inside the chat box. I will love that for you to tell me how much gas is in your area. But these are three huge concerns because if the cost of gas goes up, that means the cost of transportation. That's the cost of the pizza delivery. That's the cost of the goods that we have in our grocery stores. That all is increasing. And so right now, we're trying to figure out the best dang way to still retire, the best dang way to make it through all of this, the best dang way to weather this storm. And my focus this evening, it's on all of you. I love all of you. Thank you for being a part of the Lasher Financial family. But my focus this evening, I want to go and just have a personal conversation with business owners. Because you all who are business owners are going to be the one that actually help us weather this storm. If you look at, all of our recessions, even the Great Depressions, those who figured it out were the ones who were the entrepreneurs. They were the business owners. They were the ones who said, hey, we're not going to wait for any type of handout. We're going to start doing what we need to do for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, for our states, and for our country. So business owners, this conversation is solely for you. Now, let's classify a business owner. Yes, a business owner. Maybe you have an LLC, S corporation, a C corporation. Maybe you are an entrepreneur. Maybe, just maybe, you're a sole proprietor. Maybe you have a side hustle. Something that you're really good at, you really like it, you love it, but you have daytime obligations as well. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you are an entrepreneur. And whether you get paid or not, well, it all depends, right? How you get paid, it all depends. Nonprofit organizations, you are considered a business, a not-for-profit business, but if you understand finance, nonprofit organizations are some of the wealthiest organizations. For example, did you know that the NFL is a nonprofit organization? Right. I can go on and on and on, but nonprofit organizations are some of the most wealthiest organizations here in the United States. So how are people planning to weather the storm? Is a conversation that we need to have this evening. Okay. And how people are planning to weather the storm. I just want to integrate the conversation of this Flow to Grow program. You see, this is something that we have been talking to people about for quite some time. We've been educating people on this for quite some time. And people have begun to say, hey, so tell me about this program one more time. Tell me about how to index my cash flow. Yeah, I know I have expenses, but when I make income, all of my money, or most of my money, if not all of my money, are going to all of my expenses. So the Flow to Grow program is teaching you how to leverage your expenses and use your income to make money. Okay. And the best part about it, the reason why we're having this conversation on it is because this is the only method that's tried and true that has worked through every single recession and depression that we have ever seen economically. That's the difference. The difference is you constantly have different advisors and planners who are saying, hey, do this with your money. Stay the course. Trust me. And it's easier for them to say when it's not their money. So how do the banks weather these storms? What have they been doing for years? I often tell people, I say, look, don't just trust me. Look it up. Do your own homework. Do your due diligence. Look it up on the FDIC website. Go up under report and analysis. And you're going to find something very detailed for you that's going to make a lot of sense. Now, here in America, we have a fractional reserve banking system. I won't go too deep into the fractional reserve banking system this evening, but I want you to know that every time you take $1 and you put it inside the bank, the fractional reserve system releases $10 to the bank that you deposited that $1 in. Now, that bank is able to take 9 of those dollars that they receive back from the Federal Reserve to go invest, go give out loans, purchase real estate, purchase securities, all to make a return. And many of those items come with risk. But there's a disclaimer. There's an underlying rule that they must abide by. And the underlying rule that they must abide by is that 10% or that $1 that you deposited into your bank account, that bank must always keep it liquid and accessible. In the event that you want to just zero out your account, that money needs to be liquid and available in that bank. That's it. And this is backed by the FDIC.gov website. Just do your due diligence. Since we first started announcing this program and just sharing it publicly with people, the website has changed 3 different times. Actually, it's in its 4th revision since we started opening this up for folks. Okay? Why am I telling you that? The information is there. It seems like it's getting harder to hunt it down, but it is there. Okay? So here's the question after all of that. Do you sincerely think that banks keep all of that money just sitting inside your bank account? Yes or no? Yes or no? And if you say no, you're right. So the question is, what are they doing with your money. Well, what are they doing with your money? They are investing in cash value life insurance. That's more than securities. That's more than loans. That's more than real estate. That's more than any other goodwill or intangibles that they're investing in. Life insurance. Life insurance. So if you go to the FDIC website, you will also notice that, insurance companies have life insurance, bank-owned life insurance, bank-owned, trust-owned life insurance policies on all of their top executives, all of their employees, and all of their clients. That means you. So this is a program that the banks are actually using. Business owners, entrepreneurs, nonprofit organizations, banks are actually have this program actively right now on you. You never hear a bank complaining about who's in the White House, taxes, debts. That just doesn't exist with them. Banks don't carry over debts. And it's not just your bank that's doing this. It's not. All of the credit unions are doing it. All of the credit card companies are doing it. Do you lease a car? They got a policy on you. Or you have a car note? They have a policy on you. Right? You got a business line of credit? They got a policy on you. And you signed that affidavit allowing them to do so. You gave them your social security number. You gave them your EIN number. So therefore, they have a policy on you. Now, the reason why they use cash value life insurance policies is because it's an overall better growth rate. There's no risk. So when the market is going down, when we hit this recession, when the market resets, the life insurance policies are not going to lose their value. Matter of fact, they're going to increase in value. Right? So these policies can be structured for zero market risk. The next thing, and especially when your money is tanking, when your purchase power is being reduced, you now have tax deferred growth as well as tax free income when you go to pull the money out of your cash value life insurance policy. Right? Now, here's the other thing. The other thing is that all these funds are liquid and accessible for any time and any reason. Liquid and accessible. Okay? Even my 9-year-old son would tell you, as he was watching people flee from Ukraine, as he's watching the TV, he's seeing the lines at the banks where people are trying to withdraw money. He looks over at me and said, well, if they had a life insurance product, Dad, all they have to do is pick up the phone and call them. They'll put it inside their account. Smart kid. Smart kid. And life insurance is the only industry, the only companies that can give you funds in any currency. I just want you to have that in the back of your mind. And I say that to a lot of folks who support nonprofit organizations. If there's one way to send money with reduced transaction fees, it's to use life insurance. But most importantly, it's key person protection, meaning that the death benefit income is tax-free, and you're supposed to have it anyways because none of us are going to live forever. Just look at the news. Just watch the news in the morning. You see a car accident happen. Just drive by a local hospital and you see that people are battling life in many different ways. They're braving through a lot of things that are showing you that we all are futile in some manner, in some way. Okay? But more importantly, it has the highest contribution limits. You see, the 401k is outdated. We're going to talk about that in the next couple of weeks. But the 401k is outdated. IRA has its restrictions. Even a Roth has its restrictions. I guarantee you, Aaron Rodgers, LeBron James, Oprah Winfrey, Warren Buffett, and Jeff Bezos, they all have something in common. They don't have a 401k. They don't have an IRA. Why? Because the tax laws keeps them from having those type of accounts. No matter how much they want to hide their money, they just don't have, they're not efficient enough. So if you have one, unless you're getting a match, what other options do you have? So this is when we have that conversation. And we start talking about what is the basis of the Flow to Grow program. How does it work? You can definitely go to Lasher Financial, go to the events page, and you can watch a presentation on the whole Flow to Grow program. But the whole basis of the whole program is based upon index universal life policy. It's the only place that you can stash your money right now and maximize the cash that's inside the policy at a lower cost of insurance. It's like a foundational financial product. It's like the Swiss Army knife of financial products. It's like, well, everyone's going to die, so you need to have it. It's the one financial product that you are going to use. You are going to utilize. It is going to pay out. But if I move my head, its accounts are protected against stock market downfalls. And that's the point that I really want to express to all of you business owners, all of you entrepreneurs, all of you stay-at-home moms, all of you nonprofit organizations, all these stay-at-home dads. I really want to point this out to you because not only is this recession-proof, but it also includes disability coverage. You know, in 2008, they did a study. Wall Street investors, they did a study, and they was trying to understand the housing boom, what happened there. And many studies came out and showed that people needed $287. They needed $287, and they couldn't put their hands on $287 a month. And after 3 months of not having $287, they were in over their head. People needed $287. And during this time, they were maxing out credit cards. They were overdrafting their checking accounts. And there was no real emergency fund. In 2020, January 1st of 2020, Congress passed the Secure Act. And the premise of the Secure Act is that basically Americans don't save. They don't save. They live check to check, from credit card to credit card, from debit to debit. Well, that's the situation. That's what's going on. Nobody's saving anymore. Nobody's saving. And so though I am realistic, and I had to learn the hard way, I can't help everybody. Well, what's the universal message? The universal message is you can't spend everything you earn. No matter what you do, you always gotta save. And for some of you, you may be wondering, okay, James, I know I gotta save. How much should I save? I challenge you enough to tell you $400 a month. Doing this, whatever we're going to go through. And I'm praying really hard. I'm praying to God that what we think may happen does not happen. I'm praying that everybody will be well. Things will really start catching on. Everybody's now getting back to work. Kids are going back to school now. I'm really hopeful. I'm really hopeful that what may happen does not happen. Right? And even if that doesn't happen, there's a lot of change going on. So as we're going through this, and as we're going through this together, I want to stop long enough to tell you guys, chime in, mold this conversation. Let us know what you would like for us to cover in future live streams. Because as you communicate to us with those needs, then we're able to respond in a way that will meet your needs, that will answer your questions. Okay? And even as I share that with you, with my short time here this evening, uh, what I want you to understand is something right here. I want to put your mind at rest about something. Okay, the market is always going to go up and is always going to go down. It just is. Since the start of the index, you make gains, you take losses. That's if you're a stock market junkie. Okay. And these gains and losses, you can ascribe them to the same ordeal as real estate. Real estate goes up and it goes down, right? What happened to people during 2020 when the government told people, homeowners and landlords, that you can't evict your tenants and they don't have to pay? How did you guys weather that storm? Right? And I also want you to think about, during that time, there were not evictions. There were not foreclosures. So what we are upon could be way more catastrophic than people could ever believe. So what does that mean for you? The index. What if we talked about all of your wins, all of your gains, all the money that you made? How would you weather this storm? With what little bit that you're able to make, how would you weather this storm? It's the value of indexing. It's the value of knowing that if you put your money inside of a product, that if it's the market that takes losses, and if you put $100,000 in well over 20 years ago, you'd be sitting south of $200,000. But if you invested in the index, you'd be sitting north of 300,000. So that's what I'm talking about, being able to outpace recession, outpace this, whatever's going on, whatever's coming up. What does that look like? Being able to outpace all of that. It's the index. You have a lot of people pulling money out the market. They're not pulling it out the index. You have a lot of people selling off and trying to get rid of real estate and their homes, and they want to sell their cash. They're not pulling out the index. You have a lot of people who were really heavy into cryptocurrency, and now they're pulling out, not the index. Okay, so by having this conversation and by understanding your options and comparing them, right? Take this moment there and compare your options. Compare your options. What financial tools and products do you currently own right now? Checking account, savings account, CD, money market, 401k, IRA, stocks, bonds, hedge funds, American depository receipts, cryptocurrency, life insurance, annuities, Social Security. What kind of financial products do you have? What's bringing you income? Where's your salary coming from? Do you have a job? Do you have business income? Do you get paid dividends? What kind of income can you count on in adverse times? These are very sincere questions that I'm trying to have this conversation with all my business owners, all of my entrepreneurs, all of those who are thinking about scaling their business right now in the midst of this adversity. Okay. So the first thing I want to tell you is that don't consider yourself only a citizen. That's the first message of the night. Not just a citizen. Consider yourself a consumer. Consumer. There's a different set of laws. There's a different set of rights for consumers. Now, if everybody just stopped spending money, oh, we're really going to get hit hard. But if people are still spending money, we can weather the storm. So if people are going to spend money, where do you spend your money at? With the small business owners. So small business owners, we need you to up your game. Now, when you up your game and you are making profits, even during the midst of a recession or a market reset, you still got to save a little. You still got to save a little. Whatever you can, you got to save a little. Minimum $400 a month. If your business is larger, what are your expenses? Save 20% of whatever your expenses are. Save 20% of whatever your current expenses are. That's your new savings number. And if your business is doing really well, you're not seeing cash flow issues, 20% of your total income, of the money that's flowing through your business as the money is coming in through your doors, 20%. Don't touch it. 20% savings. Now, where to put it? Under a mattress? In the bank? Banks don't put their money in banks. We already talked about that. All right. Where do you put your money? And that's why I want to introduce you to this Flow to Grow program. It's the True Cash Flow Management program. I thank you so much for all of you guys who are chiming in right now. All of you guys who are new to this program. I know we have people listening right now. Some of you guys are on YouTube. Go ahead and like the YouTube channel, All About Others. Go ahead and click the notification bell so you'll be alerted every time we have a new training. If you're on Facebook, welcome to The Elaster Financial. Like the channel, click the notification bell as well, right? And some of you may be seeing the playback on Instagram, portions of this on TikTok, and many of you business owners who are in LinkedIn right now. I want to thank you, okay? As we're talking about this True Cash Flow Management program, I really want to talk to you about what does this program look like for the typical business owner. That day one, you're getting paid. But day two, you're flowing money through your Index Universal Life policy. You get paid, you flow it through your policy, and on day three, you take a loan from your policy and put it right back inside your checking account. Now, we're talking about taking a loan for two reasons. One, a loan is not taxable. Your mortgage is not taxable. Your car loan is not taxable. Your lease is not taxable. Your credit cards are not taxable. Now, that's something they should tax the credit card companies. That's a whole other study. I won't go there. But it's not taxed because it's considered a loan. Thank you, James. You didn't go off track. Good job, buddy. All right. Also, you take a loan because you never disturb interest. And the larger that loan balance becomes, the more interest you're earning. We'll talk about that in a moment. So just as a recap, day one, you get paid. You have a client come and buy goods. You service a client. You have the product in hand. And you sell it. And you make a profit. Do you then take that money and go pay payroll? Do you pay for expenses, marketing, and advertising? Do you purchase new equipment for the office? Do you purchase new tires for your vehicles? Do you hire new staff? No. Day one, you flow it through your policy. And then day two, you get ready for day two. So what happens on day one? Day one, let's say you're a business owner, you got $25,000 come inside your policy. This is why you do it. You immediately start earning 7%. That's why you start doing it. You start earning 7% on that money that's inside your account. Okay? And then how do you earn it? It's based upon the S&P 500. And you got a cap. You have a 10% cap right now. So no matter what happens inside the market, you got a cap of 10%. The market average has been 7% since 1926. And you know the best part? Contractually, backed by the state, enforced by the federal government, you're not going to lose any money due to market downfall. You're not going to lose any money due to market downfall. You're not going to lose any money due to market downfall. You're not going to lose any money due to market downfall. That's what makes it all worthwhile. Okay? Warren Buffett rule is to not lose money. Rule number 2 is to remember rule number 1. Okay? Which brings me to my next point. If you're a business owner and you're flowing money, you have an astronomically large death benefit. Now, I get excited about this death benefit because this death benefit means that 50% of that death benefit is your long-term care. That's your disability money. That's your long-term care. That's your disability money. Social Security says that 1 out of 4 people will claim disability benefits, meaning that they're going to have to accept taking 66% of their pay, and they're going to have to wait at least 12 months to receive it. What do you think about that? On average, most people are first declined Social Security disability benefits and then actually receive those Social Security disability benefits between month 13 and month 18. And because the Social Security Administration office is backed up, it's taking some people even longer to get their Social Security benefits. This plan says otherwise. You don't have to wait that long. So imagine putting in $25,000, saving 20%, which is $5,000, taking a loan, and this is recommended for the first 3 years if you're a business owner, just the first 3. Take a loan and put that $20,000 inside your checking account. Now, here's the thing. Why do we take a loan and put it inside the checking account? Great question. Because if the loan side is still earning 7% and the insurance company says 3.5%, that means your profit is 3.5%. Your profit is 3.5%. And let's look at today when the S&P 500 is actually at a negative right now. Guess what? All of our clients know when you see that news, you're not depressed. You don't feel bad. You just know you didn't make any money, but you didn't lose any money either. And that's good. That's okay. You remember Warren Buffett rule? Don't lose money. That's what this plan does. You're not losing money. Okay? But every time the market goes up, you're making money. You're making money, right? And so the average profit is 3.5%. Okay? So you're making money on your money. You still spend your money on everything that you're going to spend your money on anyways. Okay? Go ahead and pay your rent. Go ahead and pay your mortgage. Go ahead and pay your car notes. Go ahead and pay your doctors. Go ahead and pay for education. Go ahead and pay for, internet, cell phone, your Netflix account. Go ahead. But before you do, you have to remember one behavior. And that one behavior is you must flow. The more you flow, the more you grow. You must flow your money. You must flow your money. And during this time right now, you must get one of these accounts, open it up, and manage it well. What does manage it well means? Flow your money before you spend it. Continue to flow your money. Through hell and high water, flow, flow, flow. Why? Because the more you flow, the more you grow. Now, in this tax environment, as a business owner, you got to get nifty. You sit down, you have that conversation, and we talk about, is this a buy-sell agreement? Should this be a key employee policy? Do you want to use this policy for a merger, an acquisition, or for a succession plan? Do you plan to sell your business? What if you do? No matter what you do, you can always reduce your tax burden by setting up a non-qualified deferred compensation tax plan within your flow policy. You just stick that on there. And now 80% of the funds that you're flowing through your policy is now tax deductible because you're using it as expenses. Okay. It's considered an expense. So now it's tax deductible. But what about the 20% that stays behind? Well, hey, you simply pay the taxes when you're ready. You pay the taxes when all of this hoopla is completed and is done and is over. You pay the taxes when you want to, when you're ready to. Okay. And this is the preferred way of taxation. You pay taxes when you're ready to, not that you're being forced to pay the taxes. So what I prepared for you guys this evening is I just want to just open up the numbers and have some conversation about what do these policies look like? How are they structured? What can you start doing now to open up one of these type of accounts before things get too crazy? And by the way, hey Cynthia, how are you guys doing? Thank you for joining us this evening. How you doing, Wayne Smith? How you doing? Nefty Mendiola, how you doing, my friend? welcome. I just want to welcome you guys. Thank you guys for being a part of the conversation. Definitely put your questions down in the chat box. What I want to do is I just want to divert your attention to what we call a basic case design. Okay, this case design outlines exactly how this plan works, how this program works, and what you can use it for. That's it. No more, no less. How you can use this. So let's take that, a 35-year-old starts the policy and the premium. Many people say, well, James, how much does this plan cost? It has to cost an arm and a leg because it does so well. It's doing so many things. How much does it cost? Stop. First of all, you need to get your flow number. What is your flow number? How much do you need to flow to meet your goals? There's three types of goals that people have. Some people want to just have a savings goal. So that's a savings flow. Some people want to replace their expenses. Many people feel like if I replace my expenses, I can walk away from my job. If I can replace my expenses and I knew that a check was coming in, I can go back to school. If I knew that these expenses were paid for, shoot, I'll go back to school. Right? If these expenses were covered, I can take on another investment. Okay? And for all my business owners, I want you thinking that way. I want that in the back of your mind. So imagine taking a flow and $100,000 through your policy. You pay that premium. And then you take a loan. And you get your loan dollars back in 1 to 3 business days. Okay. So what happened? You left $20,000 inside of your policy. So you paid $100,000 to the insurance company. You took a loan for $80,000. So you left $20,000 behind. $20,000 plus this $12,917 is sitting inside of your policy that's liquid and accessible, just like the banks. This is exactly what banks do. Exactly what the banks are doing. Okay? And let's say you did that for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 years. 7-year plan. Even doing a market reset. Even doing whatever recession comes on. Even during while you are working really hard, keeping your business open, keeping the doors open, getting the kids through college, getting them through school, all of that. 7 years. You're doing so much. You're doing so much in 7 years. Now, I want you to see the magic of 7 years. After 7 years, you have saved your out-of-pocket expense. You have saved $140,000. Hear what I'm saying? $140,000. This is what you do. Now, when I explain this to people, I liken this concept to manna. Manna just comes. It's there for you. You're provided for. manna, right? This is financial manna. I love it, right? Okay. So year 8, you take 100% of your $100,000 and take a loan for it and pull it out. You're not leaving any money inside of your policy. No money is being left inside of your policy. No money inside your policy. 100,000 in, 100,000 out. 100,000 in, 100,000 out. Which leads us to the third phase of this Flow to Grow program. So just to recap, phase 1 is years 1 through 7, where you're flowing money in and you're saving money. You have a level, a base amount of savings that's you're leaving inside of your policy. And then on year 8, you can put as much money in your policy as you can find, as well as take out 100% of that amount. But the third stage of this program, you see it in this illustration on year 11. Not saying that you have to wait to year 11, but in this illustration, year 11, it's a big deal. The first thing I want to point out, there's no money going inside of the policy here. No money that's going inside of the policy. But what's happened? You're having $41,000 come out of the policy. $41,000 come out of the policy. And each year, you got a 5% cost of living adjustment. Every single year is getting more and more and more. Okay? So in this example, because we stopped saving and we started taking money sooner, this is more of an expense flow. But I just want to make a point here. At age 63, this person's income has been replaced. Tax-free, tax-deferred income has been replaced. So in this scenario, this person can retire at age 63. But wait, it gets better, right? Each year, even through retirement, there's $155,000 that are now coming. Now, how much out of pocket was saved? $140,000. $140,000 is what set this whole thing in motion. Okay? Set the whole thing in motion. And all I got to ask you is, would you like to be 90 years old still bringing in the $300,000 plus income that's tax-free? But one more thing. Let's say you're retired and you're age 72 when everybody else is taking RMDs. What happens if you want to downsize and buy another house? What happens if there's a leaky roof or you need a new car? What happens if not only do if there's a leaky roof or a new car, what if there's, your daughter's wedding? What if, you're helping your kids get your grandkids through college? Where does that money come from? Look, folks, this has a savings reserve that's still paying you income for life. It has a savings reserve that's still paying you income for life. Okay? So I challenge you, I ask you, what other financial investments do you know that can do that for you? What other investment provides you not only a cost of living adjustment, but with a death benefit? What other financial tool, financial product, financial resource can you talk about that can meet the merits of this program? Please share that with me. Now, I can be bold and just say I know that this is the best program, but it's not about being the best program. This program is a program that can mix with many other programs. So if you're a business owner, let's say you have to pay payroll, run your payroll through this program. Why? Because what happens in one day you can't make payroll. You become your own bank. You have money inside of your policy that can satisfy payroll. And then you can start paying yourself back. Be your own credit card company. Be your own bank. Finance yourself. Okay? What other program, now that you understand this program, can work with the programs that you are using? What other program? Here, I'll give you a couple examples. Working with my team in San Jose, California. Folks, you won't believe this. You can take your HELOC loan. Those of you who have equity in your house, you can take your HELOC and flow it through your policy once or twice a year. Hello. You can take your mortgage, flow it through your policy every single month. Wow. For those of you who buy cars outright, flow it through your policy. Those of you who are invested in stock accounts, those of you who have IRAs or 401ks, you can take a 1-year distribution from your stock or your brokerage account, put it inside your bank account. You got 60 days to do this. Put it inside your bank account, flow it through your policy, and put it right back inside of your policy. To my business owners, you can take this same money and flow it through your policy. Flow it through your policy and put it right back inside your account. What would that do for your business to know that you have an emergency fund for your business? We literally have people approaching us that say, hey, I have some real estate property. My tenants pay me every single month. What can we do with this? Can this program work? Yes. Right now in California, North Carolina, New Jersey, Philadelphia, as well as in DC, we have nonprofit programs that are using this program, to put kids through college, to pay for private schooling, to pay for tutoring, to pay for missions trips. And yes, right now, some of those folks are using money and assisting folks that are now newly known refugees. What can you flow? The more you flow, the more you grow. Consider what I'm saying here. Many people were concerned in September 2020 when Social Security came out with a report that said Social Security is insolvent. We only have enough money to pay out to 2032. What's your Social Security supplement? Better question. What's your parents' Social Security supplement? What about your grandparents' Social Security supplement? Does anybody know anybody that's a baby boomer? What do they have for themselves? What's their plan? So, as I'm illustrating to you the different nuances of this plan, it's just simple. You get paid, take that money, you put it inside your life insurance policy, then take it out your life insurance policy, put it back inside your checking account, and go spend your money. And as you do that, save as much as you can along the way. And by doing this, you can maintain throughout this pandemic or this financial adversity that so many people are going through. And some people are going through it now. Some people are bracing for it. What do you have planned? I know we got a lot of people who are doomsday preppers. But you're going to have to, you're going to have to barter some way. And cash is king. So as I share this program with you, and as I get you to appreciate the merits of this program with you, I'll close off with telling you how to get one of these programs. Now, I can't tell you how to get one of these programs until I transparently let you know how I and my team benefit from you getting one of these programs. You see, our only job is to help you open one of these accounts and teach you how to manage it. That's right, you're the boss. And because we teach you how to manage it, if we do a good job, we get compensated at the end of the year. At the end of the year. So it's our job to keep you happy all year long. And like many others, you will be. So what does it take? Activate your financial GPS. Go to our website, reach out to us, info@Laster Financial. go to our Facebook, The Lasher Financial, or All About Others. Reach out to us, and we can help you activate your financial GPS. Now, your financial GPS is going to give you a bird's eye view of your financial situation. Doesn't matter. We've talked to people from all over, all kinds of business owners, dentist offices, all kinds of small businesses, restaurants. We have a few people that have cleaning businesses, truckers, owner operators, HVAC, electricians, plumbers. They're all flowing money. And this message has to go out to all of you guys. So you activate your financial GPS. You get a bird's eye view of your financial situation. Once you have that in store and in place, you complete your short sheet. Now, that's a digital form that is sent directly to the insurance company to give you an assessment, and we wait for your numbers to come back. Once your numbers come back and you get approved to open up one of these accounts, we then do a case design for you to illustrate to you what your situation will look like. And whatever your income, whatever type of flow that you're going to need, whether it's a savings flow, is it an expense flow, or is it a max flow, we're going to help you with one of those. And as we help you one of those and design it, we teach you how to use it. You open your account and you start flowing money as soon as you can and as often as you can. Folks, this is not something you want to wait on. This is not something you want to procrastinate on. This is not something that, oh, I'm going to wait, I'll get to it type of thing. That's not what you want to do. You want to open your account and be a good steward of your account. Manage it wisely. My final statement is I think about one of you, one of my clients. She was on earlier today, so that's why she comes to mind. And we were doing an annual review. That's when, we meet, once or twice a year just to catch up, make sure that we're all on track. And she started flowing money, and she flowed money for 4 months. 4 months. And she joined us online like many of you are right now. And when we opened up her numbers, I said, well, look, I said, right now, she goes, stop it. I don't even want to know. I feel horrible. I know I haven't been a good steward. I'm supposed to be flowing money. I fell off. James, what's the bad news? What did my account say? And I was able to share. I was like, hey, so right now you're showing you're showing $78,000 right now. And her face just drops. She goes, okay, now I'm really sick. I'm really sick right now. I've only flowed money 4 months. And I got $78,000 in my account. What about you? Have you been flowing money? What about you? Do you have your flow account yet? As much as we're online, as much as we're telling you, the more you flow, the more you grow. All right? This is not a sales tactic. This is not a solicitation. This is education. We want to educate you. We want to take the fear out of finances so that you could be a functioning consumer. Right? When you're flowing money, you're not really worried about, what the economy is going to do. You're good to go. Okay? And by the way, inflation is our friend. Because when inflation hits, that means your accounts are growing more. Not less, but more. Okay? You're increasing your buying power. So I want to thank you all for being a part of tonight's event. Please share this training tonight with a loved one, with a friend. And definitely reach out to us with your questions and activate your financial GPS. Folks, I'm James Lasher, Master Financial Planner, CEO of Lasher Financial Consultants. I'm signing off. God bless you guys. Take care and be well.